Hi, my name is Ryan Fowler, and welcome to the Offshore Asset Protection Secrets video series. This is part 5A of the series. A little bit about myself. I'm an asset protection, estate planning, and international investing consultant. I have a nationwide clientele. Their net worth ranges from about $200,000 to over $100 million. I am the co-author of Asset Protection in Financially Unsafe Times, co-authored with Dr. Arnold Goldstein. It is one of the best-selling asset protection books on Amazon.com, and it is the highest reviewed asset protection book on Amazon.com. So today we're going to talk about offshore banking. And the first thing we need to talk about is privacy laws with offshore banking. In connection to that, we need to discuss MLAT treaties. MLAT stands for Mutual Legal Assistance Treaty. Pretty much every country that is modern will have an MLAT treaty with the United States government, unless you go to, say, Nigeria or someplace like that where your money really isn't safe, which I don't recommend. Just because a foreign jurisdiction has an MLAT treaty with the United States government, that does not mean that the United States government can get information about your offshore bank account whenever it wants. Some of these MLAT treaties are pretty restrictive. For example, in the Cook Islands or Liechtenstein, which is another good jurisdiction, only if you're currently being investigated for some type of crime, or a limited set of crimes such as tax evasion, terrorism, drug smuggling, something like that. Only if you're already being investigated could the U.S. government get information regarding your offshore banking in these jurisdictions. Compare this to Switzerland, where many of us have seen some fallout in the last year or two. Switzerland, Swiss banks handed over 5,000 names to the IRS of people that had Swiss bank accounts with them. And that's not good privacy at all, to just give out a big blanket number of names. And so we actually don't recommend Switzerland, even though there's still a few Swiss banks that will bank with U.S. people. Another thing you want to look at is good infrastructure. You want to make sure that the country's industrialized, that the banking system's modern. That means you're going to have good security and also convenience. It's not going to take forever for you to do your banking if everything is modern. The foreign jurisdiction has to be willing to work with U.S. persons. Most Swiss banks no longer work with U.S. persons because there's a bank called UBS, and there's a big tax evasion scandal or suspected tax evasion scandal, and they had to hand those 5,000 names over. So most banks in Switzerland say we don't even want to deal with U.S. persons. We don't want that happening to us. However, even the banks that will still bank with U.S. persons in Switzerland, you need $500,000 just to open the bank account, minimum balance. So you want to go to a jurisdiction where, and if you're wealthy, it doesn't matter, but if you only want to put $100,000 offshore, you need to look at that and need to see how easy is it to set up an offshore bank account, and are they willing to work with you. Another thing is you want to use an English-speaking country. Good example of this is Panama. A lot of bankers speak English in Panama, but a lot of them don't, and they only speak Spanish. And so unless Spanish is your primary language, it is going to cause delays and problems and inconvenience when you bank in a jurisdiction where English is not the primary language. Also, you don't want to bank, for the most part, avoid South America, Central America, avoid the Caribbean, because they have, by and large, not always, but by and large, what's called the Pacific Islander mentality. That just means it takes them forever to respond. They're not Johnny on the spot with getting back to you, and it could take a long time just even to open your bank account. When you want to withdraw or put money in the bank, you want it to happen, usually very quickly. You don't want it to take a week or a month for that to happen. So I avoid those jurisdictions for that reason. So in the next video, we're going to cover part 2 of offshore banking. That's video series part 5B, and I'll see you in the next video. So if you found this inside information helpful, be sure to get the complimentary ebook version of Asset Protection in Financially Unsafe Times, and also get the free video tip series emailed to your inbox, and also find out for a limited time only how you can have a 20-minute consultation with me so I can answer your questions and discuss solutions for your specific situation. You get all this for free. Just go to www.offshoreassetprotectioninformation.com and sign up. I'll see you there.